Yo, what's going on, everybody? You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Happy Monday to all of the real ones out there. I hope everybody's getting their week kicked off on the right foot, as we got a lot to talk about on today's show. Did Dion Sanders tell the media that he is hoping Shedeur Sanders will be a Giant? We're going to break that down. Also, I wanted to take a look at the updated depth charts for the Giants following the first couple waves of NFL free agency. What is the latest on Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson? We put a video out about that this morning. That's why you subscribe and turn your notifications on. Posts went viral yesterday that Jalin Hyatt is liking pictures of him in other teams' jerseys. And you guys have asked me enough, and I have finally caved. We're going to talk about Joe Milton as a trade target for the New York Football Giants. An action-packed show to dive into here on the program. Shout out to all y'all. Already 300 people in the building. Appreciate everybody for stopping by. Let's get a real one roll call going down in the comment section. If you've been here, if you've been showing love, if you've tuned in since free agency and you bleed Giants Now blue, give me a real one down in the comments section. Let's get the comments going. Let's let YouTube know we are live, and let's make this the #1 show on Giants YouTube again. Shout out to y'all. M.80 in the building. Javon Holland is in the building. Javon, call in, man. We'd love to talk to you. Peter Turner, what's happening? Sergeant 77, yes, sir. Just Blaze in the chat. What's happening? Marty, the high buy. Mr. Absurd, Maya's World, Michael W., the Scriv. What's up, the Scriv? My guy was showing love the other night during the breaking news. Jameis Winston live from the crib. Michael W., yes, sir. Young Gunna, what up? Gunna. Wanna Manhattan Mike, what's happening? Big Smooth. Paul, what up? I saw my guy Carl in the building. CTM is hanging out. The Big Moo. Hunter Cook. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. A bunch of real ones are tapping in live and direct as we're about to break it all down and cover it all. ETC, what's happening? Andy, yes, sir. Philip P, what up? Lucas says morning from Australia. War Puppets is tuning in. LTD, Lewis Tank Dickens, yes, sir. Let's what up, what up. Joe Santiago, yes, sir. Goated, too blessed. Still think Marshall had a roll on heels. I don't know what that means. Holes? Heels? Holes? What up, Carl? Jennifer Tingle in the building, what up? The Slayer dude. Amos hanging out, Tiger Metal Stick, John Blanco. I think I saw my guy Goat Congdon in the building as well. Shout out to all of y'all. If you could, please hit that thumbs up icon. 340 people are tuned in. Only 31 likes. Those are rookie numbers. Be a real one like my guy Alvin U, who is in the building today. Alvin U. Whoa, Alvin U. We will never forget the performance that he put on. It was unbelievable, baby. March Madness started by Alvin U. Got us off the right foot. My guys, Tiger Metal Stick says stack. Love that. Pat Juice hanging out. King Kenya in the building. Greg Congdon says thumbs up. I need everyone to hit that thumbs up icon because we're up to 360 people watching, and I haven't seen the likes move from 31 likes yet. I don't know if YouTube's broken or you guys hate the show. Maybe we should just sign off on the show. If you're not going to like the video where it's free and it helps the show grow, what are you doing? Please like the video. And if you have, give me a me down below. Producer Smitty back in the saddle today. What up, Beast?
It's been too long. Been away from the Big Blue fam for far too long at this point, but glad to be back in the mix. Got a lot to talk about. This offseason's heating up. Things are moving along. We got pro days. We got the draft about a month away at this point, and the first couple waves of free agency are in the books, and the Giants are looking to be an improved roster. But glad to be here, rocking and rolling with all of the real ones, and talking some Giants football, baby.
Is my YouTube broken? Because it still tells me we're at 31 likes.
It's telling me the same thing, too. I don't think we are. I trust in the real ones, and I believe that they're helping us out, hooking us up. So we'll wait to see if that refreshes.
I don't think people are liking the video.
I don't think people are liking the video.
I don't know what we got to do to get you guys to like the video. Vasquez says, Marsh, whatever happened to be patient with Rodgers? I still am being patient. I still am.
What up,
Am I growing a little frustrated? Yeah, but I'm still, just like the Giants, waiting on Rodgers. Nothing's changed. No gotcha moment there. I don't understand.
Young Gunna says it's not moving.
I have never once said the Giants should move on from Rodgers because I don't think they should, and I don't think they are going to. Yeah, we're stuck at 31 likes, man. I don't know.
Did you hit a refresh on the page?
I did.
Okay, so we are stuck then.
I guess no one's liking the video. That's crazy. Prove to me you've liked the video. Type me. Type me.
Let's
Hasn't moved. Matthew O in the building. What up, what up, what up? Shout out to all of y'all in the building. A real one from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Oh, that's my family vacation spot.
Got to get out there. Shout out to y'all. Y'all are saying you liked the video. I don't know if I can believe it. It says it's 31. I don't know. I don't know.
That's crazy.
Greg says, I think they said he waited till August till he made a decision last time. The last time he made a decision was when he decided he was going to play for the Jets, and I think that was the week of the NFL draft. Matt says, it's broken. We're all at 32. Paul, what's happening, man? Manhattan Mike, I like it when you end shout-outs and bring some news. TD, we got all the news you can need, my man. Just showing love to everybody that's here. It's everybody being a real one.
We're gonna be here for a while. We got 3 segments on the show. It's gonna be a good time. We're gonna get into all the stuff, all the secrets,
all the fake news that I'm posting on Twitter.
All the fake news.
All the fake news that we post on Twitter.
Yep.
Oh, people are funny. People are funny. Just know, we're just gonna get you guys the news you need, man. No fluff, no juice, just straight facts, homie. Straight facts, homie. 403 people watching. We appreciate y'all. Thanks for being a real one. Blaze says, y'all lying. It's 31. Mine says 31 as well. I don't know.
Crazy.
Just Blaze. I don't know what's happening, my man. David Hernandez says, any Giants fan from the 716?
That's
716
Buffalo.
stand up.
That's Buffalo. 716 stand up.
Buffalo.
I got a couple friends from Buffalo, and I do know a couple of Giants fans from up in Western New York.
That's good stuff. What up, Asia? Shout out to everybody in the building. Jamie Anderson, my guy since day one. What's happening? Joey DeLuca, he's a day one, and he's always getting the party started for us. Joey, appreciate you being here. First super chat of the day. It's not a live stream unless Joey DeLuca sends the first super chat of the day. Just popping the cherry of the super chats as always. Cherry Popper Joey. That's what the streets are calling him.
Oh, really? CPJ.
CPJ. Oh, Joey, we appreciate you, man.
So Joey sent in a super chat, and I looked at the schedule here of what we got on tap, and we don't have a mailbag for you guys today. So the only way that you can get on screen, chop it up, get your message, avatar name up there, and we answer your Giants question is if you send in a super chat, $sign next to the chat box if you would like to contribute. Shout out to y'all. What's going on, JD?
Let me do something real quick.
What do you got, gang?
Joey, love y'all. Always here. Never miss a video. Yeah. CTM, I don't know what's going on with the likes. Thanks for being here, as always. Thanks for being here. We ain't getting nothing to like. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. You guys, maybe you broke it from liking the video too much. Smitty, getting some love from my guy, Carl. What's up, Carl? He says, let's go, Winston. Let's go, Giants.
Listen, we're eating these.
We're eating dubs. Hopefully we're eating a lot of dubs next year. And Jameis Winston better serve a large platter of dubs to Joe Schoen and Brian Dable, or they're going to be out of here.
Start spreading the news.
Start spreading the news.
I'm eating a dub.
Joe Schoen, Cam Ward, chopping it up at Miami's Pro Day. A lot of the Giants front office is there. I do find it, and I'll get you the exact people that are live at the Miami Pro Day. First, though, shout out to my guy, Let's Go Giant. No, Righteous Life Media, baby. Righteous Life Media. Quick little curveball.
Little curveball, a little glitch. I got it back quick. Yeah.
Shout out to Righteous Life Media. It says a first-time super chatter for Righteous Life Media. Shout out to you, my man. Thank you for being a real one. Thank you for turning in. Here, we appreciate you, beast mode. So I wanted to get to this. The Giants are represented at Cam Ward's Pro Day in Miami by Joe Schoen, Mike Kafka, Director of Player Personnel Tim McDonald. Also, Giants QB coach Shea Tierney is there, tight end coach Tim Kelly, and assistant GM Brandon Brown. Does it mean something to you, Smitty, that Brian Daboll is not there?
That's definitely interesting. I would like him to be there.
Why is he not there?
What
could Brian Daboll be doing today that's more important than Cam Ward's Pro Day?
I have honestly no clue. Is he on vacation with the fam? I know it's spring break for college right now. He's got the kids. So I don't know. I don't know what he's up to. He should be prioritizing looking at the best quarterback in the draft, the presumptive number 1 overall pick. But guess he's leaving it to the front office guys and other assistant coaches on his staff. Has he seen enough of Cam Ward where he feels like he doesn't have to be there? Regardless, I feel like that's just a box you got to check.
Dude, show up. Show up, and when they call roll, I need Brian Daboll present. That's what I need. Sergeant 77, what's up, beast?
Sergeant.
Still being suspect of our kicking game. Thoughts? Yeah, I am not going to lie to you. I think the Giants should have moved on from Graham Gano. I think they should have found a way to improve that position and reap the rewards of that. But they didn't do it. Shout out to my guy, Sergeant 77. A first time super chatter for Sergeant 77. Shout out to you. Maybe they make a move at the kicker spot. Maybe they do some later in the offseason. Maybe they draft someone in late day 3. Maybe they sign someone to be a little competition for Graham. You gotta go, Gano. But we'll see. Nothing has happened on that spot just yet. Wonderboy Projects, $5 super chat. Thank you, my man. So what up, guys? Great to see you, Smitty. Are we doing any drinks tonight? You know what? I hadn't planned to do any drinking, but I never planned to not drink either.
That's true.
I would have been down to just shoot some rock today and talk some ball. If y'all want to party, we could party. And I can tell you this much. There's always one guy that loves to party, and he's a party starter. We got a 3-point goal. Alvin U. Bang! Bang! He says, is this the only way to ask a question?
That's crazy.
Alvin U, you are a legend. Alvin U. Whoa. Is that the only way? No. I even love Alvin U so much, Smitty, I gave credit to his scumbag owner of the New York Mets.
Oh, Uncle Steve?
Uncle Steve. He tweeted at me saying something about Rodgers, and I responded. I said, Cohen would have got it done already. He would have gave him a blank check and said, come play for the Giants.
Yep, 2 years. Give him all the money.
Alvin U, he's a legend. And he's never someone that just puts one foot in the pool. It's usually 2, and
he dives right in.
He's neck deep at this point. We got a 3-point goal. Alvin U. Bang! Shout out to Alvin U. Says, any chance that the Giants trade up? At one point, I would have said it's probably about a 60% chance they would trade up. Then I would have said probably 50. But over the last couple of weeks, I think those chances have plummeted. There's been some pretty hardcore reports out there that the Tennessee Titans are going to take Cam Ward number 1 overall.
Yep.
And that tells me that they're not entertaining a trade down option and that the New York Giants aren't going to be able to trade up. No matter what you offer the Titans, if they think Cam Ward is a franchise quarterback, they're not going to trade out of that spot. His pro day is going on today. A lot of people from the Giants building is there. We've got the pro day pulled up here on NFL Network. If you want to watch it, go watch it on that. I would say it's less than a 10% chance the New York Giants trade up to the number 1 overall pick. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, like, I think it's dead. I think the trade up is dead.
It's not look like an easy spot. Like, you can't force the Tennessee Titans to trade down with you if they want to take a quarterback, the best quarterback, at number 1 overall. Like, it's just, I like it. I'd like to trade up. I'd like to have Cam Ward on the roster, but it's not in our hands because they beat the Colts. And that's just what it boils down to at the end of the day.
Alvin U, do you think they could trade the culture that they won in Week 17 against the Colts?
Very highly touted across the league that they want that culture. They would love to add that.
Yeah. Look, Tennessee makes sense as a trade down team. They have 2 picks inside the top 100. Giants have 5 inside the top 105. There's been talk about the Titans not wanting to pass up on a generational talent. Is there a world where they want to trade down to number 3, pick up future picks, and draft a generational talent? Potentially. I'm not so sure there's that great of a chance the Giants trade up anymore. I want it. I need it. Bad.
I'd love it.
I don't know. Alvin U, we love you. We appreciate you. Thank you for everything you do for this channel, man. Seriously, thank you. You're a beast. Remy the Enforcer coming in with a super chat. Thank you, Remy. Howdy, howdy, real ones. Hashtag Go Big Blue. Shout out to Remy. Always bringing the energy. Thanks for making it fun when you're in the chat. Blue to Green says, Green 19! Green 19! Green 19! I didn't know how to approach that. Smitty knocked out of the park. Green 19! Shout out to you, Blue to Green. I'm hoping for it. I'm going to be honest. I and the Giants are still hoping they get Aaron Rodgers as well. Albert Breer says they're still all in. Albert Breer is butt buddies with Joe Schoen. Peter Schrager today on NFL Network says the Giants believe they are very much in on Aaron Rodgers. Peter Schrager, really good friends with Joe Schoen. Green 19! Shout out to Blue to Green. We're all hoping for it. Joe Blacko?
Joe, I think this is Joe Blacko.
Joe Blacko, what's up, beast? F them picks. Trade 3, 34, 65, and next year's 1 for Cam Ward. Would you do it?
No.
I can't do that either.
I can't. Still need more assets on this football team.
It's one thing to pick a quarterback and miss. I believe drafting a quarterback in the top 10 does not set a franchise on fire. What sets a franchise on fire is drafting a quarterback in the top 10 and taking 6.5 years to figure out if he's the guy. Or trading all of your premium picks for that quarterback and then missing. Whereas if the Giants traded up to 1 and offered all this and Cam Ward stinks, the Giants are set back 10 years. If the Giants stick and pick at number 3 and select Shedeur Sanders and he's no good and they move on after 3 years, it's really not that big of a setback. But if you trade all those picks and miss, yeah. I'm confident Cam Ward's a franchise quarterback. I'm confident that Cam Ward has more than enough talent to be a top quarterback in this league. You need coaching, roster building, and to create an ecosystem that can help a quarterback reach his potential. I don't know. I don't think the Titans are trading down. The Titans have...
If they got this haul, they might.
Maybe. So that's a big haul.
Yeah.
It's a big haul.
I ain't trading this unless the prospect is named Andrew Luck. That's about as far as I go.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it. Joe, we're about to watch Cam Ward. Maybe Joe Schoen told him, screw up your pro day and we'll make sure you're a Giant. Chills. Thomas, what's up, Beast Mode? Thank you for the love. Thanks for tuning in and supporting the program. Says, would you now entertain the idea of giving the Browns a call for number 2 if the Titans are sticking and picking? Martian Smitty on a Monday. Let's effing go. Go Giants. The reason I would say no to this, Thomas Myers, is because I've been trying to put myself in the seat of big brain Shane. And Smitty, if I'm the Browns and you're the Giants and the Giants call the Browns and I'm entertaining a trade idea down, that tells me the Browns aren't in love with Shedeur Sanders.
Correct.
Because teams that need quarterbacks, that view quarterbacks as top 2 picks, they don't trade out of those spots. Nope. I would say make the Browns call your bluff. And if the Browns do call your bluff and pick Shedeur at 2, that tells me they were never seriously interested in trading down unless the New York Giants paid a king's ransom.
That's a good point. I think, like, as sucky as it is to win that game in Week 17, the Giants are in a decent position right now with being at 3. They can call that bluff, and they don't have to give up a king's ransom for number 2. I wouldn't do it unless it's up for Cam Ward. And, you know, they can sit pretty, and I think that the Browns won't take a quarterback, personally. That's just where I'm at right now. I think they'll take Abdul Carter, and the Giants can take the quarterback, or if they can pass if they want to. I doubt they will. But I really don't think the Browns are going to take a quarterback.
Yeah, like, look, if the Browns want Shedeur Sanders, they're not even entertaining trade-down ideas. We saw what happened on Hard Knocks last year. We got to see Joe Schoen calling Elliott Wolf, I believe his name is, the general manager of the New England Patriots. And he pretty much told him, yeah, we're just going to stick and pick and select Drake May. That's what teams do when they view a franchise quarterback as someone that they can select. Adam Schefter, 25 days ago, said the thing he was most confident about was the Browns taking a quarterback at number 2. Adam Schefter last Friday, which we did a video on, says he believes Shedeur Sanders is going to be on the board when the Giants are on the clock at number 3. So I know he changed his mind, probably heard some new information. I'm going to listen to Adam Schefter. He's a lot more plugged in than a lot more people on this earth.
Yeah.
If you want a quarterback, hopefully he's right. The Scriv! What's happening, Beast? $5 super chat. I worry that John Mara giving Dable and Shane the pat of confidence and then taking it back saying he's losing patience may cause issues. LT. What's LT? Has he taken it back? Saying he's losing patience may cause, as in what he said when the season ended on Black Monday, where he said, if I'm sitting here this time next year, yeah, conversations will be different. Look, I'm not so sure the New York Giants have handled this situation long term. May cause issues long term. Yeah, it could cause issues long term. Thing is, if it causes issues, they won't be here long term, and it then would cause issues long term for the Giants. When you have a head coach and a general manager on the hot seat and you decide to retain them and you tell them the number one goal of this offseason is to find the franchise quarterback of the future, you're essentially telling them, if you don't find it, you're fired. And when you get that memo from your boss, if your boss tells you do X or you're fired, you're going to do everything you can to make him happy and present him with X. Meaning the Giants are going to do whatever they can to find the quarterback of the future. Maybe that means they have to reach on Shedeur. Maybe that means they have to overpay for Cam Ward. Maybe that means they have to trade into the back half of round 1 or inside the top 15 to go and get a Jackson Dart. Yeah, I think it makes... I don't ever think it's a good thing when your GM is GMing for his job compared to your GM is GMing for the best of the future for the New York Giants. Can you do both? Yeah, it's an awfully hard line to walk. I would have just fired them both and started from scratch and had a GM I trusted to continue the rebuild Joe Schoen started and a head coach that I believed in. Now you're entering a season where they've got to check a lot of boxes or they're fired.
And it's so funny how this can all be traced back to John Mara at the end of the day, telling them, and this is not confirmed or anything like that, but this is the assumption that a lot of people have, is that if they lost that game against the Colts, they were done. If they lost out, that was it for them. And they went out there, won the game, and now they're back. So
Mike Garafolo on a podcast with Ian Rappaport said, and mind you, Mike Garafolo was a Giants beat reporter before he became a national insider for the NFL Network. He said that if Joe Schoen and Brian Dable were informed that their jobs were safe prior to that game, the outcome of that game would have been a little bit different. But John Mara said they will never tank. You can connect the dots there. You're 100% right, Smitty. You're 100% right.
I don't know, man. Digging your own, it's just digging graves for no reason. I mean, you commit to the tank, or you end up not being able to select one of the top 2 quarterbacks potentially, and that's what he did.
Not ideal.
No, it's quite literally not ideal.
500 plus people watching. If you could, please hit that thumbs up icon. YouTube tells me we're still at 31 likes. I'm hoping we're not at 31 likes. That'd be devastating at this point. So please hit that thumbs up icon. Did I see my guy, Mr. Rick, in the chat? I did. It says, where was Smitty? Who gave him a hall pass? Was a UCTM.
Did Mr. Rick say that?
Yes.
Yo. That's crazy.
Andy Mo says, anyone hear about the documentary that's coming out of the New York Giants? I have not.
What doc is coming out? Is it like a Giants history thing, or?
Yeah,
I don't think they allowed cameras back in the building last season. So.
Pats are keeping Milton. Sorry, you don't gotta apologize to me. I don't want Joe Milton. Neither do the Giants.
Also, that quote from that guy about what he would go for. What are
a third-round pick?
Are you out of your?
Joe Milton's
mind?
going from a third-round pick after being selected at the back end of round 5 last year.
Yeah.
He goes. So you drove the car off the lot. Then you drove the car in Week 17 against a backup to the backups in Buffalo. And now he's going to go 2 rounds higher? Come on. Mind you, the Giants highlighted Joe Milton on their draft board in 2024 as a person that needed to change positions. We'll talk more about Joe Milton in a little bit. I would be completely shocked if Joe Milton was a Giant. I would be completely shocked. I don't see it. I don't see it. The script says Dart won't be there round 2. That's what it sounded like.
We'll see. I mean, the Giants do have the second pick of the second round, so it is in the realm of possibility that he's there.
And we always hear every year, there's no way this guy falls. And they fall. Something always happens. Things change. People fall. People get passed on all the time. It's kind of why I try to stay out of the camp of that will never happen. One, because I already learned my lesson. I said Darius Slayton's never coming back. And unfortunately, he's back. So you live and you learn and you grow and you adapt. Shout out to Peter Turner coming in with a super chat. Peter, we appreciate you, my man. Peter Turner, a first-time super chatter for Peter Turner. Thank you, Beast Mode. Thank you for supporting the channel. It says Hunter round 1, Dart round 2, or Milrow. Bang, bang. Look, if you get Jackson Dart in round 2 and Travis Hunter in round 1, it's not the worst situation in the world. But when your boss tells you got to find the quarterback of the future and you return with, look, boss, I did it. I got Jameis Winston and Jackson Dart. You're shrinking your percentages to keep your job, in my opinion. And again, maybe this means that Cam Ward went 1, and in this situation, Shedeur Sanders went number 2. And maybe that means you missed out on Matthew Stafford and Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson. I don't know. I would just say if my GM, my boss, told me your job is on the line and you got to find the quarterback of the future, and you return with Jameis Winston and Jackson Dart, I don't think you're maximizing your chances to keep your job.
No, absolutely not.
Look, I did it. I got our guy. I don't know. Maybe the Giants are in love with Jackson Dart. I don't know. Todd McShay, if you want to believe him, do it. If you don't, do it. I don't really care. He said that he has heard nothing about the Giants and Jackson Dart. Maybe that means they're keeping it hush-hush. Or maybe that means they don't like him. I don't know. As Cam Ward is getting ready to throw here at the Miami Pro Day, hopefully he does a terrible job and he falls to number 3. Allen needs wiki. Real ones. Assemble. What up, Marsh? What up, Smitty? Happy Monday to everybody. Let's go. Big Blue. Shout out to Allen Needs Wiki. Still waiting for the Giants to get our guy, unless you want your Jameis Winston jersey. We can get that for you. Or we can wait to the first round, Allen. We appreciate you, my man. Thanks for bringing the energy, and thank you for being a real one.
Legend.
Assemble!
Assemble!
Shout out to you. Mike G in the building. Where you been, Sly Guy?
Slugger!
Oh, this is Sluggers in the chat. Shout out to Mike G. What's up, Beast Mode?
My dog.
Rob Jigga, what's happening, man? Shout out to you coming in and tuning in. Says, what's up, chat? Would this be a fair enough offer? Third, 65, 3, 65, $99 and a third round next year to move to 1. If the Titans are willing to trade the pick, I think that's a good offer.
Yeah.
Again, if the Titans are willing to trade the pick. How do we know the Titans are willing to trade the pick? Do we know they are willing to trade the pick? Everything I have heard, Titans are taking Cam Ward. That's what I have heard. I hope I'm wrong. Hope the people I'm getting my info to me don't know what they're talking about. But yeah, Rob, I think that would be enough. But again, can't make him trade down with you.
You cannot.
Can't make it. Alvin U in the building says, crab legs for everyone, Mike G. Crab legs and free soda out of water cups. Alvin U says, would the signing of Aaron Rodgers mess up the cap situation for the Giants? If not, what the heck are they waiting for? It would not. It would not. The New York Giants, I've said it all offseason long, I'll continue to beat this drum, Alvin. The New York Giants have plenty enough money to do whatever they want. The Giants' salary cap books are so squeaky clean into the future, they can put some money off into the future for Rodgers. The Giants are preparing to sign Aaron Rodgers, meaning they have gone through the cap gymnastics to make sure that it happens.
It doesn't have anything to do with the Giants.
Yeah.
This is all to do with Rodgers himself.
Yeah, exactly. Alvin, at this point, I don't think there's anything else the Giants need or can do to influence Aaron Rodgers. I think it comes down to when Aaron Rodgers wants to come out of the darkness and see the light, does he say, I want to be a Giant? And I legitimately think that's all that matters at this point.
Yeah. I mean, he's going to get similar money no matter where he goes, between if it's New York or Pittsburgh or whatever wild card team is out there. It's the Giants, the Steelers, realistically. But the figures will be similar. Like, he's not going to get exorbitantly overpaid by one franchise or the other. Maybe he does. Maybe the Steelers don't offer nearly as much as the Giants, and that is what sets it over the edge. Guess what? I'm completely fine with that. Whatever the price is, go get a guy who can win your football games.
Yeah. And I've remained true to this. I don't want a cheap quarterback. I want a good quarterback.
That's right. There's no such thing as cheap quarterbacks. There's good and there's bad.
I'm tired of waking up on Sundays knowing my team doesn't have a fighting chance because we are outmatched in the quarterback battle. I'm pretty damn confident that if you got Aaron Rodgers and a healthy Andrew Thomas and a healthy Malik Neighbors, you can compete in a lot of games. Healthy Dexter Lawrence, healthy Brian Burns, healthy Bobby Okereke, healthy Javon Holland, healthy Paulson Adebo. Like, we did an exercise this offseason, and I know Bobby Skinner of Talking Giants has done it as well, where we've taken a look at the Giants' top 10 players. They look a lot better now. They do. Alvin U says that's what the Yankees said about Soto. Then Steve Cohen blew him away. That's what the Giants need to do. No, what the Mets did was they offered a lot of money under the table that no one talks about, which may not even be legal.
And there's incentives that the Yankees wouldn't meet as well. Like, they gave his family the suite. They gave him all the perks.
They don't have to go through security to get in the stadium.
He's bigger than the Mets now. Like, Juan Soto is bigger than the Mets. And and the Yankees weren't willing to make Juan Soto bigger than the Yankees. And that's okay. Like, they'll be fine. Baseball starts up this week, by the way.
Saw the Yankees sign someone this morning.
Yeah, it was.
Is he a scrub?
Yeah, scrub. Yarbrough. Yeah.
Rob Jigga, I think that would be enough. Question becomes, I think we've moved past the discussion of what would it cost to are the Titans willing to trade down?
Correct.
That's the new discussion. The Giants can meet any price point they want. 5 picks inside the top 105. Getting that comp pick, number 99, instead of 137 was huge. I think if the Titans called Joe Schoen today and said, give us your best offer, it would get done. Thing is, the Titans have to call Joe Schoen. I think it's been Joe Schoen calling the Titans. Remy the Enforcer, what's up, Beast? Thank you for the love. Aaron Rodgers is taking his sweet time because he likes the attention he keeps getting. He knows that Pitt and the New York Giants are waiting on him, and he holds all the cards. We've heard a lot of this, and I'm not saying it's true that Aaron Rodgers loves the attention. Do you think Aaron Rodgers watches sports television?
No.
Do you think Aaron Rodgers is looking at Twitter?
Probably not. He hasn't tweeted in years.
I get the idea that Aaron Rodgers loves the attention, and maybe he just likes the idea of people talking about him. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is watching the NFL Network. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is watching these talk shows.
He's not reading all the NFL burners out there on Twitter. He's just not. He's probably smart enough to know that everybody's talking about him.
Yeah, and he might like that. And maybe I'm drunk off the Aaron Rodgers ayahuasca, but I don't believe that Aaron Rodgers is doing this to make people talk about him. I think he's doing this because he doesn't know. And I think for a while he was waiting out the Minnesota Vikings. And that's why I think Smitty, once we heard the Vikings were out, what happened 2 days later? Visit with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yep.
Andy Mo says he's doing photo shoots on beaches. Does a dude that wears wired headphones on the beach in Australia really care what Dan Patrick and Rich Eisen and all these guys are saying about him? I don't know. And I also think Aaron Rodgers, when he retires, Smitty, is going to be one of those guys we don't hear from anymore.
Yeah.
He's going to ride off into the sunset. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm painting this guy out to not be the asshole, diva, attention seeker, narcissist that he is because I want him to be my quarterback, but
the only thing he does is go on McAfee.
Yeah.
Rogan that one time.
I don't know. Wonderboy Projects, what's happening, Beast? $5 super chat says, do you think the Titans will use Cam Ward for leverage to get a best deal from the Giants? Let's go Big Blue. Shout out to you, bro. Yeah. Look, if the Titans are willing to trade down, they are going to do everything they can to squeeze every pick possible out of the New York Giants. They are going to ask for everything and then take everything if a deal gets done. The Giants are not getting a deal from the Tennessee Titans. If the Titans view the number one pick as a pick that they want to trade, they are going to get everything they're asking for. Yeah, so yes, I do think the Titans will use Cam Ward as leverage to get the most. Because the Giants and Titans know if a deal happens where they swap 1 and 3, the Giants are moving up for Cam. Absolutely. Rob Chinga, Rodgers gets Wi-Fi in his cave, guys. Yeah, I'm sure he does.
I just don't think Aaron Rodgers is watching sports talk television or listening to sports talk radio or watching sports YouTube or on NFL Twitter. I don't strike him as that guy. Maybe he lurks in the shadows. Maybe he's got a burner. You never know.
Maybe he does.
I just don't see it.
People that take darkness for treats and feel as connected as he does to nature, I don't think he spends much time watching TV.
Screen time's low.
Yeah. His screen time is low.
It ain't looking like mine.
I don't think he's online much.
No. He is not. Aaron Rodgers is probably the opposite of chronically online.
Does he like people probably talking about him? Maybe. Probably. I just don't think he's kicked back, feet on the love seat, saying, "Oh baby, oh baby."
Look at what they're talking about me today. I really got them, huh?
I got him. Peter Schrager's talking about me again.
Oh, what an idiot. He knows I'm not going to the Giants. What? Like, that's just not happening.
There's a reason people come out and say nobody knows anything about Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers doesn't tell anybody, and Aaron Rodgers doesn't have a team. Aaron Rodgers doesn't have people.
He does that, and that, for better or for worse, he does not have a team. He doesn't have people around him, really. I think he would announce it on Pat McAfee.
I do think he is someone that's going to want to announce it himself.
Yeah.
CTM, are you on the injured reserve?
Oh, my goodness.
CTM, are you injured?
Are you on IR? Minimum out 4 games?
No. What happened? She says no. Who's got a broken hip? Who's got a broken hip? Hope it's not you. Hopefully it's Vinny Pip.
Then how's he going to take his kids bowling?
Vinny Pip the other night messages me after we went live for the Jameis thing. He goes, "You were live?" I'm like, "Yeah." "Why weren't you there?" So I messaged him today, so let him know we were going live.
And where is he?
Broken Chip? Broken Chip has a broken hip. Not Broken Chip.
Oh, no. That's actually doomed.
Broken hip? That's devastating. Broken. Oh, she
was just
autocorrect.
Autocorrect.
No one's got a broken hip.
Nobody's got. That would hurt. That would be a doom fest.
That would be unreal. That'd be unreal.
Oh, wait.
Ryan G. Who we at? Where we at? Broken Chip?
Broken Chip. There
Broken
it is.
Chip, no broken hip.
No.
Says, is the Brock Purdy trade rumors a thing or no? I have heard nothing about Brock Purdy trade rumors.
They're paying him.
Yeah. I've heard nothing about it.
Ooh, I kind of like the profile pic there. If you see, it's a Yankees, Rangers, Knicks, and Giants all mashed together. So I think that's the Rangers like shape of their logo. And I hear much on the Brock Purdy trade front. He's probably going to get a contract extension with the Niners.
Vinny Pip has a broken heart still from that. Where is Vinny Pip?
Oh.
Where is that guy? Ryan G, what's happening, man? Thank you for the love. Thank you for being here and supporting the channel. If you got a comment, drop it in the comment section. We'd love to chat it up, bro. Chat it up. Ambassador, what's happening, man? Thank you for the $10 super chat. Says, I never heard that report that Mara refused tanking. It's out there. He literally said it. He said it. He said, the New York Giants, as long as I'm alive, will never tank. He said it after the season. You can go watch the press conference. Any chance Dable and Shane sabotage this season to shake DJ and get a high pick? Same play calls like 2-point conversion attempt versus Pittsburgh make me wonder. I don't think the Giants, Joe Schoen and Brian Dable, sabotage the season. I don't think so. Think so. They didn't have enough job security to sabotage the season. I would say no. I just think that they made it apparent that they might be over their head. But yeah, when you run the swinging gate in the National Football League, you're going to have people like Ambassador thinking you are that bad. You are so bad, you're doing it on purpose.
Big brain Dable.
But yeah, I don't necessarily think they did it. I just think that they had a really bad season. Melo Cortez. Hope I pronounced that right. Thank you for the love, my man. Says, rather wait to see if we can get Arch or go get Ward. Go get Ward. Because what are we waiting for on Arch? Someone we don't know anything about. We know Cam Ward's the real deal.
Yep.
We know Cam Ward could be a franchise quarterback. We know Cam Ward can win the Heisman. He almost already did. If Arch Manning's last name was Machado, would we care about him? And I get why. I get the juice. I get the attraction. I get all that. But if I change my last name to Manning, am I going to be someone the Giants should wait for? I don't know. And again, I've said it before. I know not everyone gets to watch every episode. People at Chat Sports are very connected to the University of Texas and their football program. Our sources here at Chat Sports have been told that Arch Manning wants to do 2 years as a starter at UT. I don't know. I can't wait on something I don't know anything about. Can I watch Arch Manning play a full SEC schedule?
I mean, how many SEC games did he start? I think just the one, right? Mississippi State he played against, I think. It was, by the way, the worst team in the conference. And he played against Louisiana Monroe, borderline FCS school. And then obviously he came in the Georgia game when Quinn Ewers was stinking it up.
Yeah. Played one SEC game, Mississippi State.
They stunk.
And they stunk. I'm not saying Arch stinks. I'm not saying Arch can't be the real deal. I just feel a little bit more confident if I got to watch him play football before I say I'm not going to draft Cam Ward to draft him.
Yeah, bigger sample size in 3 games and a couple of QB run packages.
Agreed. Fish on Jay, $5 super
This is
chat.
electric.
Aaron Rodgers needs to get and make a decision.
Yeah. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I have no idea what you mean, but yeah, it would be cool
It would
if
be
you
awesome
made a
if you made a
decision.
decision. Sure.
It would. It would.
Appreciate you, Fish.
Ryan, what do you thank you for the love? What do you think of staying at 3, assuming both QBs go 1 and 2, and picking up Hunter, and then we trade up in round 1 for Dart? I am of the belief that the New York Giants should draft Travis Hunter if QBs go 1 and 2. So I'd be fine with that.
Listen. Give me Hunter, Neighbors, and Winston. Just go chuck it. Go get those guys making plays.
Now,
Not going to win a lot of games, but it's going to be fun.
is it going to be fun when we're losing games because Jameis Winston is throwing picks? And you're not the only person to say that.
I say that now.
It's easy to say that in March.
Yeah. I don't want to lose games anymore.
What's up, Kelvin? Kelvin says if they didn't sign Paulson Adebo, they could have went for Travis Hunter. Kelvin, stick around. I know you'll watch, and I know you watch when the video goes out on the channel. I built a graphic today for the Giants corner depth chart. They are still in dire need of a corner.
Yep.
Signing Paulson Adebo does not affect the Giants' draft plans whatsoever. It's just not how football. Free agency is for 2 to 3 years. The draft is for 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, that's a good point. And I honestly really don't think much of the Giants' free agency moves will dictate what they do in the draft.
I don't think it changes anything.
Aside from, like, safety. They're probably not going to draft a starting safety.
Yeah.
Like, that's about it. Because they drafted one last year.
Drafted one last year and paid one the big bucks.
Paid one the big bucks.
Like, think about it like this, Kelvin. We all know Deonte Banks is going to be way better this year, right? What happens if he's not?
I was going to say, we know that?
And what happens if he's not? Then you need another corner. Then you need another one. I don't think it's like Paulson Adebo is the stitches and the Band-Aid and everything to the lack of to the Giants' corner problems. That's just kind of where I'm at on that.
Yeah.
What do I think of the Oregon QB? Really good college quarterback.
Wow. The likes finally updated, by the way.
Likes have updated.
Oh my God, we're cooking.
5 likes away from 400. Can everybody please hit that thumbs up icon? Can everybody please hit that thumbs up icon? 514 people watching, 5 likes away from 400 likes. We would appreciate it if everybody did hit that thumbs up icon. Chris Castro says, did Deion really say he hopes Shedeur is a Giant? I can only tell you what I have been told. And what I have been told from boots on the ground where Shedeur Sanders spoke, he said, we're hoping it's New York. We're hoping it's New York.
We're hoping it's New York. I mean, it is funny because Deion's probably smart enough to know that Shedeur's not going number 1. And then what is it at that point? He's choosing between Cleveland or New York. Pretty easy decision to hope for there.
How do I feel about that, Marsh? If I was Dion Sanders and I had a son that was a quarterback that was supposed to go top 5, I'd want him to be a Giant over at Cleveland Brown too. There's one thing to be an NFL quarterback. There's one thing to be a good NFL quarterback. And then there's a difference of being a good quarterback for the New York Giants and then being a good quarterback for 30 other NFL franchises. When you're a good quarterback for the Cowboys, when you're a good quarterback for the Giants, when you're a good quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, when you're a good quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers, you are operating at a different level of stardom than the other 25 teams in the NFL.
That's correct.
It's just a different level. It's a different level. Guys, there was a stoppage around the world for Tommy DeVito in a 5-week sample size.
He was the biggest story in sports for a month.
Imagine if Shedeur Sanders, Deion Sanders' son, comes to the Giants and have them in the playoff hunt in year 1. He'll be a top 10 highest selling jersey in the NFL.
Oh, easily.
It's New York.
I know this is a bad comparison to make because one is Shedeur Sanders. He's got a ton of popularity. He's got a ton of stuff going on outside of football too. He's the Sanders name. But the jersey sales between Cam Ward to the Titans and Shedeur Sanders to the Giants, they won't even be remotely close.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be remotely close either. Shedeur Sanders with the Giants is a nationwide jersey.
Correct.
I don't think people in Florida are buying. People in Cali. I don't think people in Washington. I don't think people in Seattle. People in Richmond, Virginia. I don't think they're buying Cam Ward Titans jerseys.
Nope.
I don't know. Andy Moe, what's happening? First time super chatter for Andy Moe. Shout out to you, Beast. Thank you for supporting the channel. Says topic, what happens if we get a QB, suck next season, and Brian and Joe get fired? Are we reliving the whole Gettleman DJ thing all over again? It's a really good question. I would think if the New York Giants select a quarterback at number 3 overall and they lose a lot of games and they fire Joe Schoen and Brian Dable, they would probably give that quarterback another year or 2. But Andy, what I would say is if you hire a new GM and you hire a new head coach, and let's say you land the number 1 overall pick, and there's a can't-miss prospect coming into the NFL draft at quarterback that the GM and coach feel strongly about, I'd tell them to pick him. Look at what the Arizona Cardinals did. They selected Rosen number 9 or 10 overall, and then they drafted Kyler Murray number 1 the next year. So it'll come down to where they're picking. It'll come down to who's on the board. And it'll come down to how strong does that new GM and head coach feel about that quarterback? And will John Mara let them pick him? It's not out of the world of possibilities. I think the Giants draft a quarterback in round 1 in back-to-back years. We've seen other teams do it. It's a very situational talk. Great idea, great talking point. But it's hard for me to say without knowing where the Giants are picking, who's available, and how strong those prospects are.
Yep.
But if the Giants suck and the rookie quarterback looks like he sucked and you think there's a better prospect available, you should take him. You should take him. Cardinals did it. I think they should do it. Kawasaki.
Yeah, that's we can go with that.
What a name. Appreciate the super chat, man. So if this Aaron Rodgers thing happens, how many years are we thinking this contract will be? If we don't need to draft a QB, how long is long term? I think it's a 2-year deal for Rodgers. And
Guarantee the money.
Yeah, just guarantee the money.
Shit.
If we don't need to draft a QB, how long is long term? I would say if you sign Aaron Rodgers to a 2-year deal, Kawasaki, you need to draft a quarterback that you view as the franchise quarterback either this year or next year.
It'll be much more difficult to do that next season as well. I mean,
ideally you're not picking in the top 10, and and probably if you're picking inside the top 10, probably doesn't mean Rodgers is coming back.
Yeah, probably not. What about now that they have Winston, if they added Rodgers, are you still drafting a quarterback?
I don't think you have to.
I don't think you have to either.
I don't think you have to. And maybe that's the pitch that they give Rodgers. We got our backup in Jameis. We add you, and we take the player we think will best help you have the most success possible. Because there are reports that came out the Giants were telling Matt Stafford, we're going to draft a player at 3 to help you out. That was part of their pitch. And I think you're able to stand on that pitch a little bit taller with having a guy like Jameis, who, because we've talked about it, Smitty, like if you're going to draft Rodgers, you at least need a backup that you feel confident winning games, or it needs to be a rookie. And Jameis, I think, gives you enough confidence to, if in a pitch, if Rodgers misses a game 2, 3 in a row because of an injury, you could throw out Jameis out there.
I agree. I agree.
Ward gone. Jump at Hunter. Hey, we saw John Mara on Hard Knocks last year. He was talking with Joe Schoen, saying he's easily our most popular player. And that matters to an owner. And now you can put butts in seats, Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
You want to see 12s all over the stadium, draft Travis Hunter. And I would say you could do that the same with Shedeur Sanders. Shedeur's going to put butts in seats. You're going to see a lot of 2 Sanders jerseys.
100%.
But one of those guys may be an all-pro on both sides of the ball. And one of them may not be an elite franchise quarterback. I don't know.
We got my guy, Josh Flint.
Josh Flint, what's up, Beast? Thank you for the love. $5 super chat. Says, let's go, Big Blue. I love the hype that Winston will bring to the locker room. Would love Aaron Rodgers and Travis Hunter in New York Blue. Rodgers, Winston, Hunter. I kind of like it.
Deion was asked today where he thinks Shedeur Sanders will be drafted in the 2025 NFL Draft. His quote, let's hope it's New York.
It wasn't today. And
Who's saying that?
that is the Evan and Tiki show on WFAN,
WFAN.
and that's Sean, what's his name? Sean Morso or whatever. He didn't say it today, so. And they probably should have credited me, but it is what it is. That's crazy. Crazy.
Rodgers injury prone? I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say he's injury prone.
TD Midas says Travis is not an all-pro on both sides. Okay. Tell me what else you know. I don't think that's fair to say that. Dude just won the Heisman playing both ways. But everyone's got an opinion. It's all good. 530 people watching. If you haven't yet, please hit that thumbs up icon. We can dive into our first segment here. If y'all want to just continue to shoot the sheesh. TD Midas says this ain't college. Wait.
No
really?
way.
No way. This isn't college anymore. Man, I would have never guessed. You got to do better than that to say that. I mean, like, if you're going to make a bold claim like that and all you got is to say this ain't college, I just challenge you to challenge yourself a little bit more. Challenge yourself. You see Chris Sims' wide receiver breakdown today? Said Travis is number 1, an absolutely generational talent. I wonder who said that 4 months ago. I wonder who said he reminds me of Odell Beckham 4 months ago. And everyone laughed. I said he was the number 1 receiver in this class by far. Oh, I said that. I was the one who said it 4 months ago. Cha says Giants never had 2 Heisman winners on the same squad. Do we have one? Who would be the second? Oh, Jameis.
Yeah, Jameis. That's
Famous
right.
Jameis. Jameis.
I saw that. That's somebody in my group chat sent that to me. It was like Jameis Winston's the first Heisman to ever play for the Giants.
Really?
Yep.
That's embarrassing.
It is embarrassing.
Oh, my lordy. You know the vibes, media.
I was wondering if you were going to get it.
You know the vibes, media.
You know the
First time super chatter for you know the vibes. Shout out to you, Beast. Thanks for supporting the channel. Thank you, bro.
That's love.
Thank you. If you could, please hit that thumbs up icon. We could dive into this first segment here on the show. If Super Chats continue to flow in, we'll break those down. We'll take a look at the updated depth charts. We'll talk about trade rumors surrounding Hyatt and Joe Milton. And then we'll talk about Dion Sanders saying he wants Shedeur to hopefully be a Giant. The Knicks did have a Heisman winner, Buddy Bear. You know ball. Ron Dane was a Heisman winner too. He was. Fun fact about Ron Dane, when he was a member of the Houston Texans, I went to a game and he threw one of those big arm pads into the stadium and I got it. I caught it. I'm off some squirt. Charlie Ward.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Charlie Ward. All righty. Yeah. Let's do it. The first 3 weeks of NFL free agency have come and gone. So I thought today would be a good opportunity to take a look at the Giants roster and give you guys an inside look as to what this depth chart currently looks like. We'll do that in a second. But first, if you want the Giants to make the playoffs this year, if you want the Giants to get back to being a competitive team in the NFC East, hit that thumbs up icon right now. Yo, what's going on, everybody? You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Appreciate everybody for rocking and rolling with us and everybody that's been showing all the love this offseason. We appreciate you. Let's dive into it, though, and let's start at the quarterback position for this team. Right now, just two guys on the roster, Jameis Winston and Tommy DeVito. We know the New York Giants are continuing to wait on Aaron Rodgers. We have heard the New York Giants are still a team monitoring the Russell Wilson saga. And we know the New York Giants would ideally like to leave the NFL draft with a quarterback in round one. But right now, if you had to play a football game, famous Jameis Winston would be your starter. Signed him to backup money. I want to make that clear. 2 years, $8 million total. A potential earnings of up to $16 million. And when Jameis has played as a starter, he's had some success. Started 7 games in 2024. Went 2-5 in those games. Threw for 291 yards per game. Jameis can sling it. There's no doubt about it. Threw 12 touchdowns. He can make big-time throws. Unfortunately, he's also known for throwing the ball to the other team. 12 interceptions this year. Started 3 games in 2022. Went 1-2. Threw for 286 yards per game. His best stretch of games most recently came in 2021, where he started 7 games, went 5-2. But as you can see, what stands out, 3 interceptions compared to 14 touchdowns. I think it is safe to say the New York Giants have to make another move. Whether that is Rodgers, whether that is Wilson, whether that is Cam Ward, Shedeur Sanders, Jackson Dart, Jalen Milroe, somebody else, the New York Giants are going to have to go out there and make another move at that quarterback spot. You need someone that you could maybe say is your quarterback of the future. Maybe you need someone that you feel a little bit more comfortable starting more games than needed, if possible. I think another move is coming. And we'll keep you up to date if that happens. That's why you subscribe. At the running back depth chart, it looks as such. Tyrone Tracy entering year 2, going to be your lead back this year. Devin Singletary coming back for a second season with the New York Giants after signing that multi-year contract in 2024. Eric Gray entering his 3rd season out of Tennessee. And you got Dante Turbo Miller as well. So 4 backs on the roster right now. And I think the Giants have to leave the NFL draft with another back selected. This running back class is stacked. Todd McShay said it's the best running back class of all time. I don't know if I'm willing to go that far, but I know there are multiple players that I would like to see the Giants target, even on day 3, that I think could make an impact. And I'm kind of warming up to the idea of the New York Giants potentially selecting a back at number 34 if any of these guys are available, like Ashton Jeanty, Omarion Hampton, or Quinshon Judkins. If Judkins is available with the 34th overall pick, I might pull the trigger on him. Other great backs are available. Caleb Johnson, Cam Scatterbo, Travion Henderson, Dylan Sampson, my guy Devin Neal, my guy Taj Brooks, and my guy Ali Gordon. I am going to be extremely happy if the New York Giants land any of those three backs, and Ali Gordon is someone that I will be looking at for the New York Giants to target in day 3. I think he's someone that can absolutely be an impact player in the NFL. Wide receiver looks like this. We saw the New York Giants go out and make a couple of moves, signing guys like Lil Jordan Humphrey, signing guys like Zach Pascal, and bringing back Amir Smith-Marset. Wide receiver 1 is going to be Malik Neighbors, expecting big things from him in year 2. Wan'Dale Robinson is going to slot into your slot receiver. Darius Slayton comes back on a 3-year, $36 million deal. You bring in Humphrey, you bring in Pascal. Jalin Hyatt still there. What's going on with him? Bryce Ford-Wheaton remains on the roster. You have Washington from the Kansas City Chiefs practice squad, and Amir Smith-Marset, who is going to be your kick returner and punt returner yet again this year. What's going on with Jalin Hyatt? 8 receptions last year. Wasn't a part of the team. Wasn't a part of the game plan. Is he a part of the long-term plans with the New York Giants? Still just 23 years old. 2 years removed from being a third-round pick. 2 years removed from the Giants trading up in the NFL to draft him. I'd like to see him be a part of this team, and maybe pairing up with a guy like Jameis or somebody else can help him reach the potential we all thought he had. But even if Jalin Hyatt takes a step this year, you got to leave the draft with a new wide receiver. Doesn't need to be pick 34, maybe pick 65, maybe pick 99, maybe pick 104. Like, you got to find a way to add another player. You averaged 16.1 points per game last year, and the only starter you've added to this offense at this point is Jameis Winston. I think you need another boost in that wide receiver room, and hopefully in the draft you find a gem, and you get someone that could be a long-term contributor to this roster. The Giants also made some big moves on the offensive line. Starters look the same: Andrew Thomas, John Runyon, John Michael Schmitz, Greg Van Roten, and Jermaine Illuminor. And if these 5 guys stay healthy and these 5 guys play 17 games, I think the Giants can have a top 16 O-line in the NFL. And that's a major step for where they've been the last 10 years. But you went out and early on in free agency, signed a swing tackle in Hudson III. You signed another swing tackle in Stone Forsythe. You went out and made it a priority to bring back Greg Van Roten. You brought back Aaron Stinney. Now you got Josh Azudu at guard. You got Evan Neal in this picture as a backup tackle, but there's been some chatter throughout the offseason that the New York Giants are going to move him inside to guard, and maybe that is why they weren't as motivated to go out and sign a guard, even though I was told that they were all in on signing a guy like Will Fries. Does moving Neal from tackle to guard maybe give you the next Mekhi Becton? I'm not so sure. Neal did play a little bit better, I would say, this year for the New York Giants, but nothing I'm going to write home about, and nothing that makes me confident penciling him in as the starter right away. He was a little bit better. I thought he did better as a run blocker, and maybe as a run blocker, can he be someone that slides into that right guard spot and use his body, his strength as something that they can move people off the line of scrimmage? I'm not so sure. I would have liked an upgrade bigger than him at guard, but we'll see if in year 4 now, Evan Neal can find his footing. At the tight end spot, it looks pretty similar. You're bringing back Theo Johnson, expecting a big year 2 out of him. You re-signed Chris Manhertz. Daniel Bellinger is back, going to be his 4th year in the NFL. Crazy to say. I remember the day he was drafted. And Greg Dulcich, who you brought in late last year, the receiving tight end at a UCLA. Can Theo Johnson be a guy that takes a step in year 2? 6'6", 264 pounds, tested off the charts when it comes to speed and agility at the combine. 24 years old. He's got the size, got the strength, got the athletic ability. Can he be someone that takes a step as a receiver and becomes kind of a safety target and someone that a young quarterback can lean on? Played 12 games last year, 29 receptions, 331 yards, and 1 touchdown. I'm hoping for a better season for him. And to be quite honest with you, if he doesn't show it in year 2, tight end becomes a major need for this football team. I believe in Theo Johnson. I just wonder what the ceiling is for him. Coming up next, we got to take a look at the defense as well. Giants made a couple of moves on offense, but they made more bigger moves on defense, and that's where I think the strong suit of this team now resides. We'll talk about that in a second. First, though, I got to tell you guys about our proud sponsor, Factor. When you go to factormeals.com/factorpodcast and use our promo code factorpodcast, you're going to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. If in 2025 you are looking to make health and your eating habits and your dietary preferences a bigger priority, get started with Factor. You get to pick your pre-made meals, which are prepped and cooked to perfection, and they take just 2 minutes to heat them up and enjoy them. If you're a busy person like me, where I pretty much live on the clock by covering the Giants and covering the New York Knicks, I don't always have time to go to the grocery store. I don't always have time to meal prep, but I definitely don't always have time to cook the healthiest foods. But my life is always better when I got Factor at the house in the fridge. The meals like chicken teriyaki, the sweet potato and chickpea curry is good stuff as well. And I really like the chicken Alfredo pasta as well. Get started with Factor today. Go to factormeals.com/factorpodcast and use that promo code factorpodcast to get 50% off your first box. And we'll give you free shipping as well. Factor Podcast at factormeals.com/factorpodcast to get 50% off plus free shipping. All that info is clickable down in the comments and description of this video. The defensive tackle room saw a couple of additions as well. Roy Robertson Harris joins his football team, last playing for the Seattle Seahawks. Jeremiah Ledbetter comes over from the Jacksonville Jaguars. And now you got Dexter Lawrence with Raheem Nunez-Roches, Ledbetter, Roy Robertson Harris, DJ Davidson, Jordan Riley, Casey Rodgers, Elijah Chapman, and Corey Durden on the defensive tackle room. I like the depth they added. Having depth pieces like Nunez-Roches, Ledbetter, Roy Robertson Harris, and DJ Davidson are solid. But I think the Giants are still missing a game-changing player at that D-tackle 2 spot next to Dexter Lawrence. And I think defensive tackle should be a priority pick for the New York Giants. Maybe pick 34, maybe pick 65, maybe pick 99, maybe pick 105. I think this defense can take a step from being good to potentially great if you get a player on the D-line next to Dexter Lawrence that is a game wrecker. Because if you compare Dexter Lawrence with the rookie game wrecker and Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau, you take your defensive line into an elite status. And we know Burns and Thibodeau are going to be the top dogs coming off the edge for the New York Giants this year. They went out and gave some pretty damn good money to Chauncey Goldson. 3-year, $19 million. He's going to be your edge 3. You didn't bring back Azeez Ojulari. I think you could use another pass rusher. I know you went out and signed Victor Dimukeje, and you have Tom and Fox as well. Maybe that's a pick on day 3 you add, but I think adding another pass rusher could make some sense, especially with the injuries. Kayvon Thibodeau has shown he can't really escape at this point in his career. 2 times now, as he's only played 3 years, he's missed a handful of games. The first year was kind of that, I don't want to call it dirty, but just unfortunate play that happened in the preseason against the Bengals. This year, I think it was a broken wrist that he had. And it's honestly put up or shut up time for Kayvon Thibodeau. You talk like a big-time player. You bark like a big-time player. It's time for you to walk like a big-time player. I need Kayvon Thibodeau to be an elite football player. You were selected number 5 in the NFL draft. You're going to want big bucks this time next year. Earn it. Got a pretty damn easy job. You don't get double-teamed. Dexter Lawrence does. You don't get double-teamed. Brian Burns does. You get to go against the worst tackle every week. I need more than 5.5 sacks in 12 games last year and 28 tackles and 8 tackles for loss. Kayvon, you got to be better. We need you to. The inside linebacker room doesn't really change much for the Giants. You went out and signed Chris Board, a special teamer. You brought in Darius Flanagan-Fowles, the special teamer. But your main 2 guys are Bobby Okereke and Micah McFadden. You drafted Darius Musow, the 6th-round pick out of UCLA last year. Deontay Johnson remains on the roster. The guy out of Toledo that I thought had an awesome offseason and spring into the fall. Does your inside linebacker room get a boost in the NFL draft, or the Giants continue to try to piece that room together? Okereke, much better in 2023 than he was in 2024. I'd like to see Shane Bowen use him in spots that bring out better results. Find a way to get him going downhill. I want to see him back as a blitzer. Micah McFadden, back-to-back 100-tackle seasons. Just got to wrap up, finish, and drive. Still too many missed tackles out of him. The cornerback depth chart saw a big money free agent join it in Paulson Adebo. He got the big bucks, $18 million per year. He clearly slots in at corner 1. But outside of that, I still think it's a lot of question marks at this cornerback spot. I hope Drew Phillips gets better in year 2. He was good in year 1, but he was more notably known as a tackler and someone that made plays near or around the line of scrimmage. I think he needs to take a step as a cover guy. Deonte Banks in year 3, we need him to be good. We do. We need him to take a step. It's now or never for Deonte Banks. If he stinks this year, he's not going to be a part of this football team much longer. Cordell Flott's a good depth piece, but after that, Art Green, Trey Hawkins, and D. Williams. You need another corner outside of just Paulson Adebo that you have trust in. Hopefully that could be Deonte Banks. It's a major need for the Giants still. I know you allocated $18 million in Paulson Adebo at that spot, but you're a Paulson Adebo injury away, knock on wood, from once again being the worst corner room in the NFL. Like corner, you spent big on safety. Javon Holland comes over from the Miami Dolphins, and he's going to slot in at your starting free safety. Tyler Nubin, year 2, round 2. Need a big leap at him. This time next year, we need to be talking about Tyler Nubin being a long-term piece to this team. You ideally want to be talking about the Giants having one of the best safety duos in the NFL. You don't really have great depth behind him with Dane Belton, Johnson Jr., and Raheem Lane. I think another veteran safety could make some sense here. I think maybe even another late day 3 pick could make some sense at safety. Got to continue to build up that room. Overall, the Giants' defense should be a heck of a lot better. You spend a lot of money on a corner. You spend a lot of money as a safety. And when you think about every single positional group, the Giants have made a major investment. Defensive tackle, you're paying Dexter Lawrence $100 million. Defensive end / edge rusher, you gave $150 million to Brian Burns, and you used the number 5 overall pick on Kayvon Thibodeau. At corner, you gave $18 million per year to Paulson Adebo. You've selected a corner in the first round. You've selected 2 corners in round 3 with Cordell Flott and Drew Phillips. At safety, you used a second-round pick on Tyler Nubin. You used $15 million on Javon Holland. And an inside linebacker, you gave Bobby Okereke $10 million. You have a lot of assets being spent at every single defensive position. You need that unit to carry you this year if you want to be a legit team in the NFC East. Grade the Giants roster for me. Scale it from 1 to 10. 1 being the worst roster in the NFL. 100 being they're the best roster in the NFL. Grade it for me down in the comments right now. And make sure you are following me on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on IG at @MarshallGreen_. Hit me up and let's go Big Blue. What happened to Simmons? Simmons is someone the Giants have no interest in bringing back from what I was told. Simmons doesn't want to be back. Giants didn't use Simmons like they told him he was going to be used. And he's looking for somewhere else. He's looking for someone else. Nah, Cam Ward was cooking with fart gas. Is that good or bad? Kayvon and Neal, what a disaster first rounders. Yeah, not ideal there, Mr. Rick. Not ideal. Nick Jones, what up? Denny says, how do I watch Miami Hurricane Cam Ward's pro day? Well, it's over now, but I'm sure there will be a video that you can go watch here pretty soon. I'm sure if you go to Twitter and just type in Cam Ward, you'll see a lot of clips as well. Ambassador 130, what's happening, man? If you had to pick one, how do you view Hunter as a DB or receiver? I would make him play receiver. I'd make him play receiver.
Go out there and make plays.
Yeah, he's a playmaker.
Too dynamic of an athlete. And that's not even talking about how he's elite hands, too.
Yeah, I think he is already a better receiver than corner. I think people want him to play corner because, one, he played at a high level, but it's a lot harder to find an elite corner than an elite receiver. And the hope is his athletic ability and ball skills translate to him being a cover guy. I don't have to hope for anything at receiver. I already know who he is. Best in this class. Like, I probably would have had him as the number 3 receiver last year behind Marvin Harrison and Malik Neighbors.
Who was the number 3 receiver taken last year? Brian Thomas?
Roma Dunze.
Oh, Roma Doomsday, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I would have had him right 3.
We're hoping that the ball skills, the athletic ability, the tape we've seen translate to him being an elite corner. I don't have to hope anything for receiver. I've seen it. He makes plays at receiver I haven't seen many college kids make. He looks like Justin Jefferson out there. Little Garrett Wilson, little Odell Beckham Jr. Like, he moves different.
He looks like OBJ.
He moves different.
Ward's footwork and throwing base are atrocious. But I don't know.
There's about 32 teams in the NFL that have him evaluated as the number 1 overall pick. But yeah, I'm sure he could improve in those departments, and I would say he probably thinks he can improve as well.
You know what the NFL has that can help you in those departments? Coaches. People who specialize in player development. Chances Travis could play both sides 80 to 100%. I don't think it's 100%. I don't. He's going to want to. I just think it's going to be a lot of stress on the body.
Yeah, he said he wants to do it both ways 100%. I don't even know if I would want him to do that.
Because then you're never going to reach your ceiling at one spot.
Agreed. If he ends up playing both ways, it'll be 100% corner and like 50 to 70% receiver. Probably closer to 50.
Mm-hmm.
And I would just rather him play 100% of the snaps at receiver. Because I think with Neighbors and Hunter, you could slot yourself in for the best, a top 5 wide receiver duo in this league. Do I think Neighbors would be happy with Hunter? Yeah. Yeah. Neighbors wants good football players on the Giants. Malik Neighbors wants to win. Malik Neighbors was pushing for Cooper Kupp. Adding Travis Hunter makes Malik Neighbors' life a heck of a lot easier. Heck of a lot easier. Heck of a lot easier.
Neighbors wants another top receiver? Dude, they got him Darius Slayton. Come on. It's a top-end guy.
Why hold him back? I would say adding another wide receiver actually opens it up more for Malik Neighbors.
Outside, I guess Devontae Adams got more. I'm trying to think where did Darius Slayton rank as far as AAV given out in free agency this year?
Let's see.
Got T. Higgins for sure. I mean, does that count though? He never hit the open market. Obviously, Chris Godwin got more. Devontae Adams got more. And then I don't know.
AAV. Third
else?
most. Adams got 22. Cooper got 15. Slayton got 12. Diami Brown got 10. Josh Palmer 9.6. Brandon Cooks 6.5. Hopkins 5. Noah Brown 4.5. Matt Collins 4.2. Valdez Scantling 4. DeMarcus Robinson 4. Ashton Dewin 3.2.
What about
Mike
Cooper
Williams
Kupp?
3. Trent Sherfield 3.
What did Cooper Kupp get?
Cooper Kupp got 3 years, $45 million.
So he got more than Slayton.
Yeah, second most.
Oh, where's Godwin?
This only has people that change teams.
Change teams. Oh, well, okay. So it's top 5 paid receiver in this offseason.
At least that's what this list has.
Having 2 guys makes it like the Cruz and Knicks days. I'll tell you what. If you have Malik Neighbors and Travis Hunter, they aren't even on the same planet as Victor Cruz and Akeem Nicks. And I love those guys. Talk about 2 All-Pros. Get Carter. Carter's a freak. He is a freak. But if there's a quarterback there, they're not taking Abdul Carter.
All righty, let's jump into this trade rumor stuff. And then we'll talk about what Dion Sanders had to say about wanting his son to be a Giant.
Shouts out to Dion.
Mamadou in the building. What's up, Mamadou? If everyone could take 1 second to hit that thumbs up icon, we'd greatly, greatly appreciate it. Let's do it. Trade rumors surrounding the New York Football Giants are heating up as we are a month away from the 2025 NFL Draft. Jalin Hyatt, is he liking pictures of himself on the internet in a Jacksonville Jaguars jersey? And a CBS sports writer has listed the New York Giants as a top landing spot for Joe Milton. We'll dive into that. First, dive into that big red sub button and subscribe to the channel. We are in a March subscriber battle with our fellow NFC East rival channels here at Chat Sports. We're dominating Eagles now, but I want to double up Tom Downey and the Cowboys report and subscribers added this March. Only people that can help us are people that are not subscribed. And the analytics tell me that still 50% of the people that watch this channel are unsubscribed. So, as a diehard Giants fan, I'm asking for your help to beat Eagles and the Cowboys report. Subscribe, and let's go Big Blue. What's going on, everybody? You're watching Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. We'll talk about Joe Milton coming up in a second. But let's start with Jalin Hyatt, as the internet caught a blaze yesterday when Jalin Hyatt reportedly liked a picture of himself in a Jacksonville Jaguar jersey. But this isn't the first time that we have seen these Jalin Hyatt trade rumors come out. Shout out to my guy, Bobby Spence on Twitter. Awesome Giants Twitter follow. Says, I'm hearing Jalin Hyatt wants out of New York. Bobby is someone that I believe is extremely tapped in, and I don't think he would just make this up. Completely separately from what Bobby had to say, this picture went viral. Says it is from the account Klatsky Edits, or however you say it. And it's a picture of Jalin Hyatt in a Jacksonville Jaguars uniform. And it shows that Jalin Hyatt has liked this picture. I went to that Instagram page, and I did not see this post. Not saying it's not real, not saying it's fake. I didn't see the post. Maybe I'm just too old at this point, and I can't figure out how to work Instagram, but I didn't see it. But this isn't where the trade rumors come from. Multiple beat reporters on multiple different podcasts this offseason have hinted that a Jalin Hyatt trade could be coming. And it really doesn't take a wizard to connect the dots here. If you watched last season, you saw that Jalin Hyatt didn't seem to be a part of the New York Giants' long-term plans. Played 16 games. He had 8 receptions on 19 targets for 62 yards. And once again did not score. After a rookie season that I thought left some hope. 23 grabs, 373 yards, 16.2 yards per catch. Looked like a guy that was drafted in the 3rd round that had a good rookie season, playing alongside quarterbacks like Tommy DeVito. Looked promising. But it didn't happen. Nothing grew. It actually shrunk. His production, his play count, snap count, all dove. 557 snaps as a rookie. Nearly cut in half to 344 snaps second year in the NFL. We also, hopefully remember, the report that Jalin Hyatt requested a trade last year. And that was from someone that I really believe in. And I don't think they would just make it up. Hyatt and the Giants did shoot this down. It doesn't mean it wasn't true. What do you want? Jalin Hyatt to say, yeah, I requested a trade. Giants come out and say, yeah, he requested a trade. What I was told, it happened. And I believe him. And there's also multiple people that have reported this and stood on it that it happened. And we can all understand, and I can understand why Jalin Hyatt is frustrated. Giants traded up for you. They probably told you you're going to be a big part of this organization going forward. They traded picks to move up to get you. And he had a pretty dang good rookie season for a guy that played on an offense that was inept. And throughout the offseason, everything sounded good. Sounded like it was going to be a 3-headed monster between Hyatt, Robinson, and Neighbors. But it didn't work. I think both parties are to blame, though. Jalin Hyatt deserves blame for what's happened, or the lack of what's happened. The Giants deserve blame for the lack of growth and just the overall utilization of Jalin Hyatt. Like, it is what it is. Hyatt needs to get bigger. Hyatt needs to get stronger. Hyatt needs to become a better football player. And the Giants could have used him a little bit more last year. Why was Darius Slayton playing every single snap down the stretch of the season? I guess we know why, because they wanted to bring him back. I am curious if on the other side of the pillow, can Jalin Hyatt be a good player in this league with a new quarterback? Not playing next to Daniel Jones. Not playing next to Tim Boyle, Tommy DeVito, or Drew Lock. Is there a world where Jalin Hyatt could be a productive NFL receiver? I'd like to think so. Draft him in the 3rd round. Some people have him as a first-round player. So far, it kind of says no. And I don't think Jalin Hyatt has much trade value right now, which is why I'm not going out and rushing to trade Jalin Hyatt. I would rather bet that in year 3, a 3rd-round pick can grow and we see more return on investment that way than shipping out Jalin Hyatt for a 6th-round pick. Because I don't think there's going to be any team in the National Football League that's willing to give you a 3rd-round pick or a 4th-round pick or even a 5th-round pick for Jalin Hyatt. I don't think you're getting much back. And with a new quarterback, could there potentially be some growth there? And could there be some self-improvement this offseason heading into year 3? Hopefully. Hopefully. You don't just want to keep setting 3rd-round picks on fire, Joe. You've created a good habit of that. What would you do with Jalin Hyatt if you were Joe Schoen? Would you keep him? Would you trade him? Let me know. We're finally here. I've gotten hundreds of DMs and hundreds of comments on this show saying, Marsh, what about Joe Milton? We'll talk about him as a potential Giants trade candidate coming up in a second. First, though, how about we show some love to the guys that are on this team? The guy that might already be a top 10 receiver in this league. Go to chatsports.com/neighbors. That's chatsports.com/neighbors and get your Malik Neighbors jersey today. All righty. Should the New York Giants call the New England Patriots and try to work out a trade for Joe Milton? Well, it already seems like other publications are coming out and saying the Giants should trade for Joe Milton. Ben Volen of the Boston Globe writing this. The Giants, they have just Tommy DeVito on the roster. This was prior to them signing Jameis Winston. The Giants need to sign our veterans such as Rodgers or Wilson just to have a week 1 starter. But that shouldn't preclude them from acquiring a youngster too. The big question is, would they rather take Sanders at number 3 overall and pay him $38 million guaranteed, or trade a 3rd-round pick for Milton and use number 3 on a position player such as Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter? I know what I do, says Ben. 3rd-round pick for Joe Milton? That's insane. He's not the only person, though, that have penned the New York Giants as a trade destination for Joe Milton. Tyler Sullivan, who works for CBS Sports, wrote an article, Joe Milton, the 3rd landing spots. And he mentioned the Giants as a logical destination for Joe Milton. And I get it, right? Giants don't have a quarterback. They're looking for a quarterback of the future. Joe Milton can throw it a country mile. Joe Milton is fast. Joe Milton is strong. Joe Milton's really good on Madden. I get it. And I don't want to crush anyone's dreams here, but I don't think the Giants have any interest in trading for Joe Milton. And I'll go on record and say there's a 0% chance the New York Giants trade a 3rd overall pick for Joe Milton. Because why would they do that? Why would any team trade a 3rd-round pick for Joe Milton when he was just a 5th-round pick last year? And he played in 1 game against the practice squad Buffalo Bills. Nothing has changed. And when you reel it back in and you say, Marsh, but the Giants need a quarterback. Well, as you can see, here's a picture of the Giants 2024 draft board. And as you can see on the 2nd row from the left, there's a name that's highlighted in yellow. Only 1 name highlighted in yellow. And it's Joe Milton. And the yellow highlight doesn't mean we're going to trade a 3rd-round pick for that guy. Yellow highlight was someone that the Giants viewed as a player that needs to change positions. And the New York Giants passed on Joe Milton multiple times last year. They had their chance to go out and get Joe Milton. So if a team passed on Joe Milton multiple times, they also view Joe Milton not as a quarterback, and now they have to trade a 3rd-round pick, which nobody in the world is trading a 3rd-round pick for Joe Milton. Why would they do that? What has changed? What has changed in the Joe Milton evaluation process? Because I promise you this, even if the Giants did view Joe Milton as a quarterback, they never viewed him as a quarterback that was going to be ready to play week year 1 or year 2. They probably looked at him as a developmental quarterback. And nothing has changed. He's played one game. Does one game in Week 18 against the Buffalo Bills, who played their practice squad, legitimately their practice squad, and their practice team, because they had their playoff seed locked up. Does a game where Joe Milton went 22 of 29 with one passing touchdown, one fumble loss, and completing an average of 8.3 yards per completion, changing that the New York Giants viewed this guy as a non-quarterback who they passed on 5 times to now give up a third-round pick for him? I don't know. I get it. I know people are saying the Giants are desperate, and desperate times call for desperate measures. But these desperate times should not call for the desperate measures of trading a third-round pick for Joe Milton. I don't know. What do y'all think? Do you think the Giants should trade for Milton? Big arm. Strong kid. Does he just need a chance? Can Brian Dable do for what he did for Josh Allen, if that was actually anything he did? I'm going to say no. I'd rather just take a chance on my own guy that I believe is a quarterback. He's got talent. He's got upside. Throws the ball really hard. I don't see redeeming QB characteristics from Joe Milton. And if I'm wrong, I'll be the first person to tell you I'm wrong. I would type my N for no. That's just me. And I think the Giants already typed their N for no 5 times last year. And probably wouldn't do it this year either. Make sure you are following me on social media, because if a Joe Milton trade happens or a Jalin Hyatt trade happens, the first place you're going to hear about is on my Twitter. So hit me up at @MarshallGreen_, and let's go Big Blue. Third-round pick for Joe Milton is crazy.
He should be fired for writing that. Who posted that? Oh, okay.
Hopefully my guy Joshua is not lying.
Former sponsor.
Former sponsor. Thanks for sponsoring the show, DraftKings. I don't know. I don't see the Milton juice, and it doesn't seem worth the squeeze.
I'm just so confused as to why he just came into the news cycle and the hype train. Where did it come from?
I don't know. If the Patriots thought he was that good, don't you think they'd want to keep him as a backup quarterback for Drake May? But I guess if you can get a third-round pick for him, yeah, do that too. But I don't stay up on Christmas Eve hoping a fat man with a beard comes down my chimney to eat my cookies. Ambassador, what's up, man? Hilliard, Amani Toomer versus Toomer and Plaxico versus Cruz and Nix. That's tough. That's tough.
I personally didn't watch enough of Toomer to have all the skinny on that. Definitely didn't watch Ike Hilliard. And I was a Cruz guy. I had Hakeem Nick's jersey, too.
Plaxico might have been the best of all of them.
I agree.
Just
go up and get it, dude.
Monty Toomer was...
He's the Giants' all-time leading receiver, right?
Yeah, I think so. One of the most sure-handed, and I would say maybe the best toe tap artist I have ever seen. There are some plays in Amani Toomer's highlight reel where you watch him, it's like, how did he get both feet down? How did he tightrope the sideline like that? If I had to rank them, I'd probably go Ike Hilliard and Toomer last. And then a tie between Amani Toomer and Plaxico Burress and Cruz and Nix. Both got us one bowl. Cruz and Nix got us a bowl. Toomer and Plax got us a bowl.
The better three was Mario Manningham, though.
David Tyree.
One, he's a postseason merchant. He was never good anywhere else.
He has the best catch in NFL history.
Best
though.
catch in NFL history.
He had a touchdown in that game.
Yeah, that was early in the game.
He could have won MVP low key.
Low key. Like
He had a touchdown and that catch.
Game's not won without him. He was
And Steve Smith.
Oh, Steve Smith was tough. I was
Steve
thinking
Smith was
USC
tough.
Steve Smith, man.
Yeah.
He was good. He was a good ball player. He bled into the Cruise Knicks too. I don't know if he was with Cruz, but he definitely was like right before.
What was his last year? The Super Bowl. Steve Smith Giants.
He was definitely there post 2010.
So yeah, 2010 was his last year.
2010.
Think about it like this: this man had 107 grabs for 1,200 yards and 7 touchdowns in 2009. He was out of the league by 2012 at 27 years old.
Did he have an issue off the field?
No, I think some injuries caught up to him.
Okay.
Philly went there, didn't work out. Injuries, then went to St. Louis. It didn't work out as well.
I remember him going to St. Louis.
He was a go-to target for Eli. He was. Bronx boy in the building. Better late than never.
Oh, Vinny Pip.
Vinny Pip, I don't know if you know what YouTube notifications are, but you should probably turn them on, Beast.
You're live?
You're live? He also asked me questions that I tweet out answers to all the time.
That's read
DMing questions that Marsha's answered via tweets is crazy.
read the TL.
Get the post noties on,
Come
Bronx
on.
boy. We love you, brother.
CBC, Crazy Blue Chris.
CBC, my man. What's up, bro? Thank you for the love. Says Rodgers is probably our best shot under center. What's the most you'd really pay him, especially in guarantees, given his age and durability? Like, people think I'm yanking my chain. I would, whatever it takes to get it done.
Whatever it takes.
Like, whatever it takes to get it done, man. I'm dead ass serious.
I just want to win football games.
Yeah.
I don't care if people like see the deal and laugh at the Giants and clown everybody on Twitter. Like, they're gonna win more football games than they did last year, by a lot, with Aaron Rodgers under center.
I just think, like, it comes down to this. I'd rather have him than not have him.
I agree.
Hey, Marsh, was wondering if you think we'll trade up for Daniels or stick and pick for Neighbors.
Oh.
From Bronx Boy.
Yeah. He's so funny, dude. He's hilarious.
I think he's kind of losing his fastball.
He might be.
You're looking awfully Greg Maddux-ish with that fastball, Pip.
Uh-oh, losing a little heat. Oh, you said give me a number?
For what?
Rodgers. So what's the most? 50 million. Go get it done.
But then it's like if you want to pay him $49 million, like if he wants 51, I'd pay him 51.
I agree.
Oh my God. I don't think that there's a number that, like, yes, if he wants $100 million, like, he's not asking for $100 million. I think he's asking for $30 to $40 million.
Yes.
And I'm willing to pay all of it.
And I'll pay 45.
However much I have to pay to make sure you sign with this team, I'm cool with.
Can we get him a suite?
Yeah. Come
You want
on,
a suite
John.
for all your
Can we get him a calendar that's not just from September to December?
Yes. I don't know, man. I've been looking at that boy from Duke. I think his name's Daniel Jones. Dual threat.
Next Eli.
Next Eli. That's what they say. Smart
David
kid.
Cutcliffe.
Stay smart kid.
Crazy Blue Chris says, so you'd guarantee him $50 million. If Aaron Rodgers says, I will sign with the Giants if you give me 1 year, $50 million guaranteed, I'm probably doing it.
Yeah, I'm probably doing
I'm
it.
doing it.
Yeah.
25 this year, 25 next year.
And it's like, dude, it's off the books after 2 years.
He's off the books.
Who cares? You have to watch Aaron Rodgers every Sunday. I watched Daniel Jones for 6 years.
We didn't sign him to trade. We're not signing him to trade him, Bronx boy. We didn't sign him to trade him.
No way we'll take an RB at 2, second round. We have number 3, Vinny.
I think that's a Saquon joke.
Oh, that's on me. That's on me. I got.
We didn't sign him to trade him. We didn't sign to trade him. Oh, Smitty, you just dog walked him, Bronx boy. You got the fastball back.
He caught me.
You got your fastball back, Vinny Pip.
Unbelievable.
About damn time. Blew the heater right past you. He was sitting off speed.
I was waiting for a curve.
He's sitting off speed, baby. All righty.
Oh, man.
Let's talk.
One more.
A little Dion Primetime Sanders, as he said he wants his son to be a Giant. But will he go as far as to Archie Manning this draft and make sure it happens?
I want his son to be a Giant? I don't know.
Let's do it. We are hoping for New York. That is what Dion Sanders recently had to say when he was asked where he wants his son Shedeur Sanders to play. We'll dive into those quotes coming up in a second. But if you want Shedeur Sanders, perfect timing, yeah, on the New York Giants as the next franchise QB, let me know by going down and hitting that thumbs up icon. And if you don't, comment and tell me why. Welcome into Giants Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Appreciate everybody for stopping by as we react to Dion Sanders saying we are hoping for New York when he was asked about his son Shedeur and where he would be drafted. Shout out to my guy, John Sokolo. I hope I am pronouncing that right on Twitter. You can go give him a follow. He was the one who sent me the picture of Dion saying this, where he was at the Pro Mat in Chicago. Dion was a keynote speaker there. The reason there is no video is because my guy John did not anticipate Dion talking about the draft, because the event was a supply chain conference expo, and he wasn't answering or really being asked questions about the NFL draft, and then he answered that. Was unexpectedly asked a question about the Giants, or excuse me, Shedeur in the NFL draft, and he said, we are hoping it is New York. Shout out to John for the scoop, and go give him a follow and show him some love. The post is blowing up everywhere, and it wouldn't be possible without him. Hashtag real one. This is not the first time Dion Sanders has said something like this. This is not the first time that Dion Sanders has hinted that Shedeur is going to be a Giant or that he wants Shedeur to be a Giant. Let's rewind the clock to late November of 2024, where Dion Sanders went on the Adam Pac-Man Jones show. And at the time they recorded this podcast, the New York Giants had the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft. Then they had a big culture win against the Colts. Pac-Man Jones said, are the Raiders sliding up to get the number 1 pick? And then Dion says, do they have to slide? Pac-Man was like, well, they're at number 2 right now. And Dion said, well, who's number 1? And Pac-Man was like, I think the Giants are number 1. Primetime responded, Giants are not going to give up that pick. They are not going to give up that pick. I know that for a fact. Then Pac-Man said, the Giants are the number 1 pick. Who is the number 1 pick? And Coach Prime responded, if the Giants have the number 1 overall pick, Shedeur is going to be the number 1 overall pick. I don't know if Shedeur and Dion have been told that they are the New York Giants guys or what. But he was awfully confident in that interview, and now he's gone to the mic and said, hopefully it is the New York Giants. And you know what? No shit. Dion knows what playing for the New York Giants can do. Dion Sanders knows the audience and the platform being the quarterback of the New York Giants is. And being a New York Giant quarterback just means a little bit more than being the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns. It's one thing to be a quarterback in the NFL. It's another thing to be a good quarterback in the NFL. It's a whole different thing to be a star quarterback for the New York Football Giants. That makes you one of the more popular athletes in all of American sports. Deion saw what it did for Eli Manning. Deion has always been a huge fan of Eli. Go back and just look it up. Type in Dion Sanders and Eli Manning. He always had his back because he knows that being the Giants quarterback and being successful takes your stardom to another level. And if Shedeur is the Giants quarterback and has success, he could be the top. He could be the most popular and best-selling jersey in all of sports. And we've seen Deion not be shy about it. Shedeur hasn't been shy about wanting to be a Giant either. Go back to before his bowl game this year with Colorado. He said at practice when the Giants had the number 1 overall pick, I'm going to be wearing the cleats of the team that's going to draft me at my bowl game. And he showed up with these cleats. The red and blue with the white New York Giants logo on him. Nothing to make of that, right? Definitely nothing to make of Malik Neighbors and Shedeur Sanders linking up in the New York City streets at the Heisman Trophy ceremony. Going out into the New York City streets outside the bodega to toss the pill. The pill that had a New York Giants logo on it that he showed off to the camera. And you see the man cheesing to his right. That's the quarterback coach for Shedeur Sanders. That's the quarterback coach for Cam Ward. And Shedeur, in this clip on the Well Off Media page, shout out to Bucky, Shedeur says, you're going to be here regardless to the QB coach, in reference to either Cam or myself being a Giant. The question now becomes, though, would Deion force Shedeur to the Giants? Would Deion, Coach Prime, not let his son be drafted by the Cleveland Browns? Would he pull an Archie Manning where he wouldn't let him put on the San Diego ball cap to force his way to the Giants? I'm not saying he would do that, but that is the next step in this process. It's one thing to want your son to be a Giant. It's another thing to force your son to be a New York Giant by not letting him go to the Cleveland Browns. Will that even be necessary? Would that even be necessary? I don't know. Adam Schefter, 27 days ago at this point, says, the thing that I feel most, Adam Schefter says this 27 days ago, the thing that I feel most comfortable and confident about in this draft is the Cleveland Browns at number 2 will wind up taking a quarterback. That was about a month ago. This weekend, Adam Schefter has updated his takes. Some of you guys would call him a flip-flopper for that. Schefter said this on ESPN. I believe Shedeur Sanders will be available at number 3 for the Giants. And by the way, they don't know that right now because Cleveland holds 2 and Tennessee's at 1. But I think when you talk to people around the league, the sense is Cleveland would like Cam Ward. And I think Cam Ward is going to be the number 1 overall pick. Unless Cleveland trades up to number 1, I don't think it's going to get Cam Ward. In which case, I think Cleveland either goes Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter. And if they go for one of those guys, then that leaves Shedeur Sanders sitting there, number 3, for the New York Giants, if that's the direction they want to go. And by the way, the Giants and Shedeur Sanders have been linked up for quite some time. If we go back to December in the Alamo Bowl, wasn't Shedeur Sanders he had Giants cleats with him, right? And is there any player that's more prepared for the bright lights of the big city, just like Eli Manning was back in the day? Sanders also would have been trained for this city at this time. And so we'll see how this all plays out. We'll see if Aaron Rodgers decides what he wants to do. But it certainly feels like Shedeur Sanders is going to be there at number 3 for the Giants to pick. And that would make a lot of sense. Deion hasn't hit it. Shedeur hasn't hit it. Adam Schefter's now telling you. And the Giants haven't tried to hide the Shedeur Sanders smoke themselves. Daniel Jeremiah over the weekend reporting the Giants had a presence at every single Colorado game this year. They were following Shedeur Sanders around all season long. Thing is, we told you that 3 months ago. That's why you subscribe. What about the East-West Shrine Bowl here in Dallas, Texas, a couple of months ago? Down in the hotel lobby, Brian Dable, Joe Schoen, Brandon Brown, and Shedeur Sanders hanging out. What about at the practice field? Brian Dable and Shedeur Sanders chopping it up. What about the dap that was heard around the world? Brian Dable looks at Shedeur, gives him a little head nod, and a crispy dap up that everyone's talking about. What about back in November when Brandon Brown, Joe Schoen, Tim McDonald, and Jesse Armstead got on John Mara's private jet, flew up to Boulder, Colorado, and watched practice? I wonder why they would do that. Well, what about when Connor Hughes said this a couple months ago? The talk around league circles has been Shedeur Sanders is the Giants guy. It's been that way since before the season started. Before season ended, excuse me. The Giants actually had a completing scouting report on Sanders ready if he declared for the 2024 draft. He would have been a target in the second or third round. It could all be smoke. It could be Deion pushing smoke. Could be Shedeur pushing smoke. Could be Adam Schefter pushing smoke. And it could be the New York Giants pushing smoke. Kind of like all the smoke we were fed last year with J.J. McCarthy and the Giants, who the Giants flew to Ann Arbor, Michigan to spend Easter Sunday with J.J. McCarthy, and then had a private workout with J.J. McCarthy, and went to his pro day and spoke to him at the Combine, where J.J. McCarthy said he spent the most time with the Giants before the 2024 NFL Draft. So maybe it's smoke just like that was. Or maybe the Giants are doing as much homework possible to make themselves as confident as possible either way they decide. I think at this point, if Shedeur Sanders is on the board when the Giants are on the clock with the number 3 overall selection, I believe he will be a New York Giant. Everything I've read, everything I've heard, everyone I've talked to, all the dots I've connected, this seems like too much. And I think if Shedeur's on the board, when the Giants are on the clock, you're going to hear Roger Goodell go to the podium with the 3rd pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. The New York Football Giants select Shedeur Sanders, quarterback, Colorado. That's what I think is going to happen. Make sure you do have your wide receiver 1 jersey ready to go for next season. Chatsports.com/neighbors, chatsports.com/neighbors. Get your jersey today. Be ready to roll for the season. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on IG. The first spot you're going to hear about any Giants news and updates is over there at @MarshallGreen_, at @MarshallGreen_, Twitter, IG. Hit me up, and let's go G-Men. M.80 says, could be Marsh just pushing smoke. I don't have smoke to push, but yeah, I guess. I ain't got no push to smoke. Smoke to push. Push. Smoke. Push. Smoke. Push.
We ain't that tapped.
F all that rah, she. We need someone ground. Look at Ward. He played at Miami, and we ain't hear nothing extra. We need Cam. Cam Ward's my QB1, that's for sure. Cam Ward is my QB1.
Smitty pushing smoke?
Smitty pushing smoke.
Nah.
Smitty ain't pushing no smoke.
Nah, bro. I just want
Smitty.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
I'm just a chill guy that wants Aaron Rodgers on the football team.
We just want the best quarterback possible for the team.
Yup.
That's literally it. My agenda is to get the Giants the best quarterback possible. Mark Martin. We never talked about the top Giants wide receivers.
Receivers? Are you talking about, like...
I think he means all time.
We were just doing that.
We did just talk about that, by the way.
Unless this is a Darius Slayton joke.
I think he's asking for the top Giants receivers of all time. I think probably got to put Amani Toomer there, considering he's got 9,497 yards, and the next highest is Odell Beckham Jr. at 5,400.
The most talented I've seen is Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah, the best receiver I've ever seen play for the Giants is Odell Beckham. The most accomplished is Amani Toomer. Statistics and Super Bowl.
I think Malik Neighbors is going to be the best Giants receiver of all time.
I think that is a smart take. That is a smart take. Mount Rushmore, 4.
Yes.
Toomer, Odell, Cruz.
Plax?
In my lifetime, I'll go Plax.
Okay.
In my lifetime, that's who I would go.
But pre 2000, the Giants receivers are doomed.
Yeah. Joe Morrison was a running back. Homer Jones from 64 to 69. Kyle Rote from 51 to 61. Chris Callaway from 92 to 98. Ike Hilliard's up there, 97-04. Bob Tucker.
Oh, Bob Tucker. You guys got to see the film, man. It's tough.
Giants don't have a deep wide receiver history.
No. It's like honestly, like it's one of the worst in the NFL.
So that's what I would go, Mark. That's what I would go, Beast. Where would you put Cruz? He's on my Mount Rushmore. He's on my Mount Rushmore. Top 4.
Joe Juravicius?
Joe Juravicius.
Yeah, Keem Nicks just couldn't stay healthy.
Wonder Boy. Has New
What
York
up?
talked to Cleveland about a pick swap? I'm not sure. I don't know anything about that. So, yeah, Hakeem Nicks is what could have been. The injuries for sure. Hakeem Nicks was a monster.
Ramses Barden's crazy. What are we going to get to Jarrell Jernigan next?
Sonoris Moss.
Ooh.
Joe Schoen chatting with Titans GM Mike Borgonzi at the NFL at the Miami Pro Day.
Does Big Brain Shane think that he can? Does Big Brain Shane think he can outsmart a first-year GM?
I'd hope so.
I hope so.
From the Chiefs, though.
Yes, they know how to run things.
Mike Borgonzi.
Ugh.
All righty, we're going to sign off on the show. Been live for 2 hours. Appreciate everybody for stopping by. We'll have videos out on the channel remainder of the week. Appreciate everyone for being a real one. Love you guys. Let's go Big Blue.